A very good afternoon to all of you. I hope I'm audible now. Good afternoon, good afternoon. Right, so I welcome you to this session, SNAP General English Marathon. So, some of you took the first slot. Yes, some of you are yet to take the second and the third slot. So those who appeared, those who did not appear in the first slot, do watch the analysis. Okay, of course, those who appeared would have watched it. In the analysis, you will get to know the kinds of questions that came in general English. Okay, what their difficulty level was, how much time you needed to give to those questions. In fact, how much time you needed to allocate across sections. You'll come to know all these things. So it's important that you watch the analysis of the first slot, because towards the end we have discussed general English questions as well there. Right? Okay, all right. So good afternoon, Jai Suman, production engineer, Apurva. Hi Ayush. Hello Amrit. Chetan. Hi Himanshu. Hi Amrit. Acha, I've already said hi to Amrit. Ayush, good afternoon, good afternoon. So there are a lot of not audibles. Okay. Hi Diksha, Harshvardhan. All right, all right. Hello Aniket, Diksha, Arya, Ayush. Hi Divyashri. Hello Guru Prasad. Yes, so welcome to the session. Welcome to the session. There was some little audio issue there. Right. So today what I've done is I have brought some difficult questions for you. See, just because slot 1 was easy, that's no guarantee that slot 2 and 3 are also going to be easy, right? So last year also, as far as general English was concerned, slot 1 and 2 were quite easy, but in slot 3 it was easy to moderate, right? There were some questions that were tricky. So I have also brought mixed questions for you today. Some of them are tricky. So by practicing them, we'll see how to navigate difficult questions. Yes, that's going to be one thing on our agenda today. We'll see some commonly tested concepts in SNAP. So I've tried to keep the question types also pretty similar to what came last year and what has come this year, right? And we'll learn the approach to various question types. And yes, what I've already told you, how to navigate difficult question types. That's what we are going to learn today. So more than a marathon, it will be like a concept building session for you that teaches you all these things. Poem based questions. So Sham, we have a session already available on YouTube called SNAP Idioms and Poems. Just search for it, okay? SNAP Idioms. SNAP Poems and Idioms. In fact, that was the name. But primarily I did poems only there. SNAP Poems and Idioms. So I have covered, I think, 4 to 5 poems there. Then there were other sessions also last year where I covered poems. In our last session also, in the last SNAP session that happened, again I covered one poem there, right? So no dearth of poem questions. All right, all right. The ice cream is too cold to eat. That was a misunderstanding. The ice cream is too cold to eat. Okay, actually what was discussed, there was some miscommunication there. So by itself, see, if I just write the sentence, the ice cream, if I just write this sentence, the ice cream is dash cold. Okay, and then I give you the options very and too. Then of course, very is going to be the answer. When nothing else is written after this, then it should be very cold. However, if this is given to eat, this is given, then it will be too cold to eat. Too cold to eat. Right? So I hope this is clear, Zainul. No, Devu, minus slot 2. I'm taking it on the 18th. Right? Okay, error identification, we have such question. Articles, we don't have a specific articles question today, right? This will be definitely useful for IIFT. In fact, I've kept the level of questions also high, so it will definitely be useful for IIFT. Okay, all right. So let's come to our first question. This is a part of speech question. Last year in IIFT and in SNAP also, in ZAT also, they were specific about the part of speech that they were questioning you on. So one of the questions in IIFT, it said, okay, identify the correct usage of noun in so and so, I mean in these sentences. Then there was one on verbs, right? In ZAT, there was one on prepositions. So they were pretty clear about what they wanted to ask you. Now here also, this is a part of speech question. You have to identify the part of speech of the underlined words, right? Let's see what you say. These are your options. Okay. Yes, SNAP slot 2 is clashing with IIFT. In fact, I also realized this after filling the SNAP form. Otherwise, I would have preferred filling the IIFT form. Yes, Jasuman, correct है. अगर too cold to eat लिखा है. Compound words are actually very easy. They are the easiest of the lot. Just break the word into two parts and see if those two parts separately also make sense. As in, are they separately also words? Okay. The compound word. Just watch the analysis. I've forgotten. Courtyard tha, I think. Courtyard was asked. If I'm not wrong. Court is also a word separately. Yard is also a word. So that's why courtyard is a compound word. Sunshine is a compound word. Sunlight is a compound word. Right? Waistcoat is a compound word. So words that when broken, they separately are also words. In fact, this word has been formed by combining the words sun and shine. Right? Okay, okay. So in the meanwhile, I've also got the answers for this one. Right. Okay, B3. I've got a couple of ones also. Nobody was also there. Yes, nobody. Yes, yes, yes. Right. So thank you, Maitri. I'll bring more such sessions. So I'll not go out today, for it is cold. One cannot but agree that this is a harsh winter. Right? Or this winter is harsh, whichever way you want to put it. Now, I will not go out today. In a way, I'm trying to say because it is cold. Because it is cold. If you see, first of all, the meaning of for is because here, it is giving a reason. Also, I'm joining two independent clauses. Basically, these are two separate sentences, right? I will not go out today. It is cold. Separately also, they both make sense. Now, I'm joining the two. Joining. So, the action of joining is happening through this for. So, this is going to be a conjunction. It's either one or three or three. Now, I understand why you said two or why some of you said four also. Because for is a, usually, we use it as a preposition. So, he bought a gift for me. When I say that, so for is a preposition there, right? This is for you, right? These medicines are for your stomach ache. So for is used as a preposition. However, we have discussed this, that for is also a conjunction. Remember the acronym fanboys? Fanboys is an acronym. Yes, for coordinating conjunctions, the F in fanboys is nothing but for. Okay, for and nor, but or yet so, right? So for is a coordinating conjunction. It is used to join two ideas carrying equal importance, right? So here both are two good separate, when separated, they are two good complete sentences, and I am joining them using the conjunction for. So अब ये या तो 1 है या 3 है. Yes, let's see. Now, one cannot but agree that this is a harsh winter. When you use this, one cannot but agree. Are we agreeing or are we not agreeing? Yes. Do we agree or do we not agree? We actually agree with this. When we say one cannot but agree, you cannot but deny that this is wrong. That means I am trying to say that you cannot deny. So, you cannot but deny when I say that. So, just a second. When I say one cannot but agree, that means one agrees. One cannot but deny means one should deny. Okay, sorry, my bad. So, this means that anything else is impossible. Anything else is impossible. Anything else is impossible. Okay, and in this sense, you tell me, is it functioning as a preposition or as a conjunction when I say one cannot but agree? If it is a preposition, what is the object of this preposition? I told you, after preposition, we need a noun or a pronoun that governs it. So what is the object of that preposition? There is no object of preposition here. But के बाद ये noun थोड़ी है. Agree is not a noun. Yes. So this is also a conjunction here. This is also a conjunction here. This is a very specific use of but as a conjunction. When you try to say that, okay, everything else is impossible, you have to agree. One should agree. Okay, one cannot but deny, one should deny this. So the answer here is conjunction, conjunction, and that is why it is 3. Right? I hope it is clear to you. I take agree is a verb. Agree is a verb. Yes. Okay. Good, good, good. Fanboys are coordinating conjunctions. I hope this is clear to you. Coordinating conjunctions are a type of conjunctions that are used to join ideas of equal importance. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. Okay. All right. So I take time with each question because I want things to be very clear to you, right? Look at this. Change the voice of this sentence here. Let's see who answers the fastest because speed is also important, right? Overawed was also asked. Yes, correct, Savni. Overawed was asked. Nobody was asked as a compound word. Okay, so I've got 2. Ayush has answered the fastest. All right, 3, 4. I've also got a 4 here. Okay. So Priya remembers something. Okay. Priya remembers something. Priya remembers her father giving her a present. Okay, I was saying president. Yes, her father giving her a present. So now, see, this is constant here. Priya remembers. So you need not worry about the verb remember. Right? So, moreover, when you say, I remember this fact, I remember this fact, right? Can I say this fact is remembered by me? Is this the correct passive voice? This fact is remembered by me. Yes. Passive voice, can I convert the verb remember to passive voice? That is my question to you. This fact is remembered by me. See, strictly speaking, yes, you can convert even this to passive voice. However, in our question, this is written as Priya remembers, so we need not really worry about it, right? So we have to worry about this part. Priya remembers what? Her father giving her something. So active. Now this is an active action that is happening. Okay, her father doing something. Now, this also looks fine. 4 also looks fine. So I understand one of you saying 4. 2 should have been outrightly rejected. 1 should also have been outrightly rejected. Because see, giving, something is happening. Her father giving her a present. Right? So, being is something that is required. When I have this ing form in the active voice, being is required in the passive voice. So, eliminated, eliminated. It comes down to 3 and 4. Now 4 would be the answer if I wrote here, Priya remembers that her father gave her a present. A present. I don't know what's happening. Priya remembers that her father gave her a present. Then it would be fine because again this is was given structure. Being given structure nahi hai ye bhi. Isn't it? So it's only 3 that could be the answer here. Good. Many of you answered 3. Okay. I hope this makes sense to everyone. Those who were confused between 3 and 4. Okay. Sakshi, give me an example of what you are saying. Verb के पहले जो भी आता है, give me an example of that. Right? 4th means given for one time. That she was given. Yes, it's basically a past action that happened at one point of time. That is what we mean by 4th. Right? So Priya remembers that her father gave her a present. So at some point in the past, he gave her a present. Right? Chalo. Great, great. Let's come to the next one. You have to give me the correct preposition, of course. All of these are prepositions. This is very similar to a previous year question that was asked. So if you find value in the session, see, I try to create, again, I've created many of these questions on my own, and I try to make them difficult also at times so that you have a mixed experience, as in you don't feel that, okay, all the questions are extremely easy. So in case you find value in the session, please do press the like button. That's all that we ask from you. Yes? 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, quite a few of you say 4. Then sprinkled here and there, I see 2, 3, and 1. All right, all right. So, honestly, I expected you to narrow down to 3 and 4. No 1s and 2s. Because reconcile is a verb. Reconcile is a verb that is often followed by the prepositions with and to. Right? Now, with is used when I talk about, let's say, earlier you had a fight with someone, or earlier you were on bad terms with someone, and now you reconcile with that person, right? So now you again become friends with that person, or now you resolve your differences. That is the meaning of to reconcile with. However, we are not talking about any person here. We are not saying that, okay, they were friends who fought each other, okay, and then who fought with, after fighting with each other, now they're reconciling with each other. We are not saying any such thing, right? So the preposition that should be used here is to. Why? When you reconcile to something, you accept that thing. So if I reconcile to my fate, I accept my fate, I accept my destiny. If students reconcile to failure, they learn to accept it with grace in a way. That's the idea. It's not like they learn to fail every time. They learn to accept it in case they experience it. So reconcile to. 4th is the answer here. Hope this is clear. What should come here? Rima is waiting in the hospital or at the hospital. Okay. Rima is waiting dash the hospital. See, at is more appropriate here in case I were given both the options in the exam. In case both of these were given to me as the options in the exam, I would choose at. It looks like you are telling me the location. Okay, it looks like you're informing me where she is waiting. You're giving me the location. And that's why the appropriate preposition for location is at. It's treating the hospital as a point. However, if you specifically want to emphasize, let's say, the area of the hospital, you want to emphasize the fact that she is inside and not outside. That is the point of emphasis. Then in or inside makes more sense. In or inside makes more sense then. Okay, that, oh, she's waiting for you inside the hospital. She's in the hospital. So she's waiting in the hospital would make sense when you specifically want to emphasize that area. Otherwise, if you're giving me the location, then at is more appropriate, right? It's not like in is completely wrong. That's what I want to emphasize here. It's not that in is completely wrong. It depends on your intention, right? Thank you, Tripti. Thank you. Tirupati, sorry. Thank you. This concept of using with and to is applicable for any other words or only with reconcile. See, prepositions don't work like this. For instance, if reconcile with means that, okay, making up with someone, that does not mean that if I put it after some other verb, if I put with after, with some other verb, then also it will mean the same, or then it will carry the same intention, so to say. That's why, you need to learn prepositions, because if I say averse to an idea, so to is coming there. But if I say you are averse to an idea, that means you just dislike that idea. Okay, you are averse to an activity, you dislike that activity, you would not indulge in that activity. So the verb completely changes the meaning here of the expression, right? So I can't give you any such generalization. Okay, and another example that I would like to extend. Talk with someone versus talk to someone. Both are correct. You talk to someone, you talk with someone, both are correct. However, when I say with, the interaction part is emphasized more. That, okay, the other person was also an active participant. That's when you say talk with someone. So it has different meanings with different verbs, and I can't generalize like this. Okay. All right, then, perfect. Let's come to tenses. This is testing you on tenses. This is a previous year question, of course, modified. okay, based on whatever I remembered. So let's see what you say. Rima question, Sham, you'll have to give me the question itself. It basically, Ramakrishnan, they are called phrasal verbs. A lot of times they are called phrasal verbs. When a verb plus a preposition carries a specific meaning, that is called a phrasal verb, right? Yes, this session is absolutely useful for IIFT, okay? Rishabh, you've given me a dot. Then the will be eliminated, Devu. So Devu is asking, what if she is admitted to the hospital, right? What if she's a patient? Then she is in hospital. The will not be put. And then you can't say she's at hospital, then she's in hospital. If she's the one who has been hospitalized. So Swati, see, while I mean, I cannot comment on this. See, it's your performance in the slot that will decide whether, you yourself get to know after it that whether I attempted it. I mean, how many questions I got correct. Okay, what is my expected score? So that decides whether you need to take the second one or not. Okay, 1, 4, 3. All right, all right. So, but then the thing is that if let's say if I am a sincere candidate, okay, if I am actually sincerely targeting Symbiosis, any of the colleges, okay, the top 5 at least, then in that case, I would have filled for 2 slots. Okay, if let's say money is not a constant, I would have gone for 2 slots because the best score out of the 2 is counted. So in case one of the attempt does not go well, I still have a second chance. That would be my psychology in tackling this situation of 3 slots where I can take all 3. Right? Okay, 1. All right. IFT VRC sectional attempt. For NMAT we have such NMAT VRC we have such videos, but then NMAT is adaptive, so I can't actually demonstrate it to you here, right? I don't have any such software. For NMAT types of questions we already have videos. For IFT types of questions also we have videos from the previous years, but we are going to conduct a lot of sessions this year. This year as well, right? So last lap to IFT is going on for this reason only. Okay, 3, 1. All right, all right. 4 also I've got. 2, 1, 2 also I can see in the chat box. Right. So this is a tricky question. Let me admit this at the outset, right? And it's a good learning for all of you. The answer here is second. An anticipatory strike was launched before the enemy had had a chance to apologize. Right. Now you must be wondering why the 2 hads. Yes. And see, has been launched is absolutely incorrect because this is the present tense and this is in the past tense, past perfect, that too, right? So here there is a tense inconsistency right away. So this is easy to eliminate. Even if let's say I do not know how to approach this question, I would still eliminate 4 right away. Now it comes down to had a chance, had a chance, and should it be had been or was. So let's take some examples to understand why 2 is correct here. Some of you must be thinking 1 had is sufficient, 2 is not really required, and 2 is wrong, right? So let's see some simpler sentences first. She ate a sandwich before she read the book. She ate a sandwich, past simple, before she read the book, past simple, right? Had is past perfect. A single had here is past simple. Okay, and double had here is past perfect. So those who are saying that, 1 should be the answer, I absolutely understand. And you are thinking of this particular question as this sentence type. She ate a sandwich before she read the book. That means, okay, this happened and then this happened. Then this also happened. The second action also happened. Similarly, she went to the library before she read the book. So after going to the library, she read the book. So the second action happened in both these cases. Second action happened. But can we say this? She returned the book before she read the book. she returned the book before she read the book. That would imply that after returning, she read the book, right? Just like this indicates a sequence, first, second, and this logically makes sense. But does this logically make sense that she returned the book before she read the book? It does not make sense logically, because now after returning, she cannot read. So when I refer to this, I am referring to this missed opportunity कि उसने पढ़ने से पहले ही वापस दे दी. It's a missed opportunity, isn't it? Ideally, the reading should have happened before returning, but it did not happen. It's a missed opportunity. So to indicate this fact that the reading should have happened before returning, I should put a had here. So this implies this, that she returned the book before she actually even had a chance to read it, right? She returned the book before she had read the book. So to indicate that this was something that was supposed to happen before this part, but it's a missed opportunity now, we put this had here. Okay, so good. Those who understood this sentence, now we apply it to this simply. So an anticipatory strike was launched. So see, the enemy, if the enemy apologized, if they gave the enemy this chance to apologize, right? The enemy would apologize, and then there would be no need for any strike, right? But what happened instead? They launched a strike even before the enemy could have got that chance. So now it's a missed opportunity, right? If I do not put this second had here, no, that implies that even after the strike, the enemy had that chance. But the enemy did not have that chance after the strike was launched. So that's why had a chance to apologize. This had is a helping verb, whereas this had means possess. यहाँ पर ये had का meaning possess है. It is not a helping verb here, right? Means possess. Clear to everyone? So this was a new learning for many students last year. It was asked in slot 3. A similar question was asked in slot 3 of SNAP last year. Okay. Hope this makes sense. Now a question has been asked, do we need to do word par made easy? See, if you do it, nothing like it, right? It has a lot of commonly and frequently used words. So it only helps you, and it not just helps you for SNAP, but also for IFT, for NMAT, right? Even basically for all your non-CAT exams that ask vocabulary. Now, assumption, conclusion, questions, verbal reasoning, I did tackle them in a session called SNAP Critical Reasoning. Actually, it was mistitled. SNAP Critical Reasoning करके session का नाम है. There I have addressed some assumption, conclusion questions also. Plus a SNAP Verbal Reasoning last lap session also happened. Last lap SNAP Verbal Reasoning. There also I tackled them. Right? Okay, okay. Tell me more. Yes, Mandeep, more is a pronoun there. I think we discussed this in a previous session. See, when I say tell me more there refers to something, right? More of something. So of a story, let's say. So basically more refers to the story there, and that is why it's a pronoun. As an adverb, more is accompanied with than. Okay. I like her more than you like her, let's say, right? I like her more than you. So there more would be in the nature of an adjective adverb. Here it's referring to something. It's a substitute for something. I could have told you, tell me the story, but probably you started the story earlier. So I'm saying, tell me more of the story, right? Hope this makes sense. Yes, everyone. All right, all right. Compound words I have already covered in last lap to SNAP and IFT vocabulary session. Modal verbs and prefixes we can cover. Yes. Okay. Had, first action had, and second action simple past. Can we assume that the first action, we don't assume this. Actually, this is the sequence. If let's say two things happen in a sequence, okay, two things happened in the past and they happened in a sequence, then the one that happened first takes had. Okay, so I had finished my lunch before my mother arrived. I'm sorry, finished my lunch. I had finished my lunch before my mother arrived. So this is the structure. So the first action does take had. Here also actually this should have been the first action. The apology should have happened earlier. That's why I had here. Right? Okay, okay. A lot of queries being asked, but we need to attempt more questions also. So look at this parajumble question. After this, I'll address 2 or 3 queries. Let's proceed like that. Okay. So attempt this is a previous year SNAP parajumble. It was slightly tricky for some students. That's why I am taking it up here. Right. Let's see what you say. Acha, sorry, I'm hiding a bit of the option. Sorry. Wait. Attempt this. I'll address your queries. Don't worry. Okay. So I've got some responses. A lot of you say A. All right. Then I've got C also. Okay. D also. All right. Any other options? So nobody is saying B. It's A, C, or D. All right. For you. Let's discuss this. See this. So here, the following represents a condensed statement of what we think we now know about the relationship between education and employment. Okay, the following. Although the linkages between, again, education and employment are complex and in the past, often analyzed with simplistic notions of causality, recent research results have yielded new insights about the nature of these linkages. The moment I read A and B, I realize B should come before A. Why? Because I talk about what was the scenario in the past. Okay, what was the scenario? Our understanding of the linkages between education and employment in the past. And now then we come to the recent research results. Then I'll say this, no, that the following represents a condensed statement of what we understand now. Yes. So the moment you read A and B, you realize B should come before A. A and C are eliminated right away, there itself. One of you was asking, should we solve completely through options? No, not completely through options. Take the help of options as I'm taking, but don't solve option, like don't go option by option. That first you read it like A, C, B, D, E, then you read it in the order of B, A, C, D. That's very time consuming. Okay. So B should come before A. That much is something that we have understood. So either B, A, C, D, E or D, B, E, A, C. Now, a lot of students actually are confused here. They think that BACDE makes more sense, but the answer here is DBEAC. Let's see why that is the case. Why D is the answer and not B? Those who marked D, yes, you tell me, how did you eliminate B? Yes. C says, in the interests of brevity, in the interest of being brief, the argument is put forward. The argument, which argument? Is put forward as a series of major propositions and derivative strategies relating to the education employment nexus. So I am talking about putting forward a particular, a specific argument, right? And here also A said the following represents a condensed statement of what we think we now know, right? So probably it is in continuation of that we are putting forward an argument now, we are presenting a statement now. Okay, so okay, C should come after it. Now see, I'm writing these with gaps. That means it's possible that something else can come in between them. We'll have to check. Okay, so let's check. D says, intensive research efforts are currently being supported through the developing world, both by national governments and international donor agencies, in the hope of improving understanding of the nature and causes of rising unemployment. So I am saying that I'm giving, actually I'm here, through this D, I am establishing what is happening. Okay, I introduced the idea of unemployment here, that intensive research efforts are going on these days, where in the developing world, and they are even being supported by national governments and international donor agencies. Why is this being done? So that our understanding of the nature, the causes of rising unemployment is improved. So actually, I'm trying to understand this problem, why unemployment is rising. And in this effort to understand this problem, we are checking what is the link between education and employment. So D is actually the opening sentence here. Then we come to B, that although the linkages between education and employment are complex and in the past, so now recent research results have yielded some new insights. So now in order to understand rising unemployment, now I go into this linkage between education and employment. Okay, then why will C come here? That's the question. Why should why will E come here? Yes, why should E come here? So B says that recent research results have yielded new insights about the nature of these linkages. Now, the massive problems of widespread and chronic unemployment and underemployment in less developed nations will remain amongst the most serious challenges to the development policy during the next several decades. So, first, intensive research efforts are being supported to understand rising unemployment. Then, in order to understand this nature and causes, we explore the linkage between the two. Then through these linkages, what am I trying to actually do? Basically, I'm trying to develop some policy by understanding this. And I'm then laying it out right there that this widespread chronic unemployment, this is a massive challenge to framing any development policy. And it will remain a massive challenge to framing any development policy, right? So then in the light of that, we present a condensed statement, probably something that will be able to help us in framing that development policy. Okay, so that's why D, B, E, A, C. That is the answer here and not B, A, C, D, E. In fact, you could do this through elimination also, because in the exam, we don't have this kind of time that we analyze it in such depth. So when you see, B, A, C probably would make sense together, but after it, D, E does not make sense. After B, A, C, put D, E, and it will not make sense. D has to come before this discussion. Okay, so this was a way to answer this question. I explained it very thoroughly to you because some students came to me that we don't understand why it is D and not B. ठीक है? All right. D was definitely the opening statement. Clear? Using elimination, Alok, very good. Cannot start with although. It can, see, any paragraph can start with although. Don't be under such an impression that we can't start with but, we can't start with although. D is the opening sentence. Correct. It gives the foundation of what will be said later. Okay. ठीक है सर, अच्छा, ओहो, रील्स चल रही हैं साथ में. चल, let's have a look at another question. जम ही नहीं रहा ये question, सोचो बात को दो. So in such a case, I think if let's say you are able to narrow down to two options, then yes, you should give this question a shot. But if you're not even able to narrow down to two options, then leave this in the exam, right? Okay. Somebody was asking a question earlier. Brill cream. Use brill cream to look handsome. Assumption, people want to look handsome. Yes, this assumption is there. Because otherwise you will not advise them to use brill cream to look handsome. Okay. It looks like an implicit assumption to me. Because if I negate it, people do not want to look handsome. Why would you advise them to use something to look handsome? Okay. All right. So attempt this. A very easy question now. Idiom question. Vocabulary आ गई अब. For CET and CMAT, see in CET and CMAT also what you're essentially asked is vocabulary, grammar, parajumbles, these areas only, right? Apart from, of course, RC passages, those are universal. So your preparation should always be focused on these four areas: vocabulary, grammar, logic, and RCs. Ultimately, for every non-CAT exam, you are preparing for these four areas. So the past year papers are a very good starting point for preparation of any exam. Be they memory based papers, be they actual papers. Look at the past year papers, see what kinds of questions have been asked and prepare accordingly. There are some things that all of you have to cover no matter which non-CAT exam you are taking. For example, being thorough with your parts of speech, knowing frequently used words, right? Knowing how to attempt a parajumble question or a critical reasoning question, direct indirect questions, whether you are good readers or not, whether you're reading on diverse genres or not. So these remain universal for your CAT and non-CAT exams. Okay, hope this helps. Acha, now this is a 1 minute, it's not even a 1 minute question. Yes, it's a 30-second question at the most. A lot of you say 4. Okay, then I've got some 2s also. Okay, 2s, 4s. Good that you eliminated 1 and 3. These were the 2 confusing ones here. When you have your game face on, yes, all those who are into video gaming, can you answer this? Yes, idiom that has been derived from the act of juggling, to keep several balls in the air. That means you're juggling with a lot of things. You're doing a lot of things together. You're trying to do multiple things together. So absolutely, 2 is the answer. Keep several balls in the air. Actually, this is, I created this question, so I was trying to confuse you here. To have a lot of plates spinning, that is the idiom. When you have a lot of plates spinning, again, you are doing multiple things at the same time. Okay, doing multiple things at the same time. So this was incorrect because of balls here. Plates should have come. 2 is the answer. If someone always has their game face on, yes, they're always focused. They're very determined and focused. They have that expression on their face. To talk through your hat. If I say, oh, I don't listen to her, she talks through her hat. Yes. Some of you after this session, she talks through her hat. What does that mean? Tell me. Jaldi jaldi bata do. When somebody is not making sense, no, somebody is just uttering foolish words, okay. Someone is garrulous, likes to talk but does not make sense. That person talks through his or her hat, okay. So this of course does not make sense here. Answer is 2. Clear? So idioms, proverbs, these are just like vocabulary words. If you are able to eliminate, very good. If you are not, then of course you do have negative marking here also. Don't make completely wild guesses. That's something that I advocate against. Okay. All right. Proverb. Speaking rubbish without logic, not making sense. Absolutely correct. To talk through one's hat. Off the top of my head means that what comes to my mind first. Okay, that right now this is coming to my mind. So this is off the top of my head. It does not mean that what I'm saying is foolish. The first example that comes to my mind, let's say, for that I'll say, okay, this is an example off the top of my head. All right. What do you say here? 2 people are talking amongst themselves. All right. Okay, so 3s and a couple of 2s. Yes. The cobbler one is the answer. Correct, Amrit. I think, Shyam, the idiom is not this To shoot from the hip. That is the idiom. It's an informal idiom. That means when you're very direct, you're very honest. You don't beat about the bush. That is when you shoot from the hip. Right? When you react quickly also, that's when also you shoot from the hip. That is also one of the meanings, the negative meanings, that when you just don't think carefully, you react immediately. To shoot from the hip. Okay, so यहाँ पर answer 3 है, not the other ones. This is not even an idiom. This is not even a proverb, right? A proverb is a famous saying, usually carrying a moral to it. The construction worker's life is ironical. This is just a common statement, not a proverb. Man does not live by bread alone. That means every person has some spiritual needs also. You know, just food, shelter, clothing, they are not enough to live. You need to have some spirituality in your life as well. That is what it means when we say man does not live by bread alone. Now, some of you must have wondered what it means. Some of you may have tried to guess the meaning. So, while we land at the correct answer by guessing the meaning, at times we don't. So, for instance, some of you must have thought that man needs friends also, man has social needs also. But here it is something very clearly related to spirituality. Okay. Youth is wasted on the young. What does this mean? Yes, all you young people in the house, tell me. Absolutely, sociopath, narcissist, you can associate it with the song Hips Don't Lie. So, youth is wasted on the young. बताओ जल्दी से. I think you are the youth. You would understand it like no one else. Or probably you don't because you are young. So when I say youth is wasted on the young, it means that the youth has a lot of energy, right? To do a lot of things. And however, in the youth, most people spend their lives worrying about very trivial things, spend their time worrying about trivial things. So that is why the older people would say that, you know, youth is wasted on the young. They have energy to do so much, but then they just waste that time worrying about trivial things. Okay, so Sadanand, I think you're talking about migratory words that have come from other languages but have now been adopted by English. So for migratory words, I can't suggest any one source as such where you will find all foreign words only. There are a number of apps that talk about idioms, proverbs, and along with that they have sections on foreign words, right? Otherwise, you know, you can Google, and let's say websites like vocabulary.com, they often have a lot of categorizations. So migratory words is one categorization that they may have. Okay, otherwise ऐसे कोई book नहीं पता मुझे जिसमें बस migratory words हो. Okay, all right. Figures of speech. Okay, figures of speech. Yes, we have a question on that also. I hope all of these are clear. The cobbler always wears the worst shoes. That means a person who, again, an artist or a person who constructs things, builds things for others, often cannot afford it himself or herself. That's the meaning of this proverb, right? It's also said that the cobbler always goes barefoot. This is also a variant of this. The cobbler always goes barefoot. Okay, or the cobbler always wears the worst shoes. Both are acceptable. Okay, so here comes a figure of speech question. Compound words we have covered in the last lab to SNAP and IFT. We did quite a few questions on compound words. Vocabulary decoded. Please watch that session, or decoding vocabulary. That was the title. Okay, all right. Yes, which figure of speech has been used here? Three, okay. All right. Three, fine. Okay. So, absolutely correct. With a sweet sorrow in her heart, she bid them goodbye. So, sweet, sorrow. Opposite words put together, like the kind cruelty of the surgeon. Okay. There was a deafening silence in the room. There was a deafening silence, but it could deafen you, right? Then She was touchingly untouched by the gesture. She was touchingly untouched by her father's death. This is the sentence that I read. That means, she was not at all affected, and it was so sad to see this, that she was not at all affected. So when we use these opposite words together, we place them together, this is called an oxymoron. I think all of you know this. Even the word oxymoron, go into its etymology, the word itself, the roots themselves, they are oxymoronic. Right? You have to find this out. Now, what about the others? Yes, so now you were asking me what if we get a figures of speech question. See, you should know at least 15-20 major figures of speech, right? You will find them in Wren and Martin. There is a whole chapter dedicated to figures of speech, and all the major ones are given there. So do go through that chapter. Then metaphor, hyperbole are two common ones, right? Metaphor, a direct comparison between two things. Right? So if I say that the camel is the ship of the desert. So the camel is the ship of the desert. So I am not saying the camel is like a ship in the desert because it helps people to commute. I'm not saying it's like a ship. I am saying it's the ship. So this direct comparison is a metaphor. Again, all of you know this. Similes, metaphors, you have read in your junior classes. Hyperbole, give me examples of hyperboles. In fact, a question on hyperbole was asked last year in one of the slots, if I'm not wrong. It means exaggeration. Absolutely, absolutely. Paradox is a logical contradiction. That's called a logical paradox. Okay. Good, Amrit. That would be Synecdoche, to ask for her hand in the marriage. The world is a stage is a metaphor. Pretty ugly is an oxymoron. Right? No, paradox nahi ho sakta, Samir. Paradox is actually a situation. There I give you a situation. When just two opposite words are placed together, we don't call that a paradox. That is called an oxymoron only. I told you a million times. Yes, this in fact came. I told this 1,000 times. I messaged you 1,000 times. Yes, that is hyperbole, exaggeration. Synecdoche is interesting. Yes, let's have a look at Synecdoche. ये थोड़ा interesting है. When there is a whole part relationship in physical terms between two things. Okay. So for instance, when I say, have you seen his new wheels? Have you seen his new wheels? Instead of saying car, this is E. Instead of saying car, I say wheels. So instead of referring to the whole thing, I just refer to one of its parts because the part is so representative of the whole. Okay, that you immediately understand that I'm talking about his car. Right? His new wheels. So this is synecdoche, when you have a literal physical whole part relationship. So if for instance, if let's say a guest is coming over and your mom tells you, I want all hands on deck today. All hands on deck is an idiom. Okay, that means I want everyone to help me. Hands, you work with your hands. Right? She has too many mouths to feed. She has too many mouths to feed. Mouth here has been used to represent all those people who are dependent on her. So whole part relationship. It means people to feed. Dependent people. So this is synecdoche. Okay. I think I saw the pronunciation as synecdoche. I'll check it once. Probably both are acceptable. With pronunciations, it's always so dicey. I think I told you this also, no? Like hummus, the hummus pita bread wala hummus sauce, right? A lot of pronunciations of hummus are actually acceptable. Humus, hummus, hummus, right? So with pronunciations, it's always very dicey. I read the pronunciation as synecdoche and hyperbole. I'll check the others. Okay. Older than death is hyperbole. My bag visit and hyperbole. I've been waiting for you forever. Hyperbole. Good, good, good. That's amazing that all of you know so many examples of these figures of speech. That means you know the major figures of speech. In case you don't, now you know what you have to do. Okay. Fill in the blanks. Collective noun per question hai ye. Easy again. Let's see who answers the fastest. We are nearing the end of the session, so I want a lot of enthusiasm from your end. Yes, last question for the day. Let me see what you say. All right. Four is what all of you say. Absolutely correct. Just one or two of you said one, or I think I saw three also. चार ही है इसका आंसर. बिल्कुल करेक्ट, बिल्कुल सही. Troop is used for a group of soldiers, whereas this troop, OUPE pronunciation, is used for entertainers, dancers, artists, singers, right? All of them. So here we are talking about singers, right? Probably BTS is coming. So we'll use troop, OUPE. Gang, bank, no. Okay, this is not something that I'll use for singers. So eliminated. 4 is the answer. 3 and 4 were similar. That was the only tricky part there. Again, I think this is a memory based previous year question. Chaturth bolte hain. I'll just tell you. Yes, this is our CAT 23 program. Any of you who is planning to take CAT 23, any of your friends who are planning to take it, do ask them to enroll now. A pretty comprehensive course, a lot of things covered here. Just give a read, okay? And just log into our app, BYJU'S Exam Prep. And in case you're interested, a tab automatically appears there. Yes, you just have to press talk to our counselor and then somebody will give you a call, right? Last lab to IFT has already started. I'll see you on the 16th. I'll also see you in this basically, okay? And hopefully. I'm confusing two sessions, okay? I'm always confused when it comes to my schedule. So do watch it anyway. A lot of interesting sessions, specifically geared toward IFT, because some of you told us that in SNAP and IFT, you wanted something specifically for IFT. That's why we started this, okay? At 7 p.m. from 10th to 17th every day. ZAT 2023 mock, all of you should take it. In case you have any queries, you should ask me later on, right? Video solutions will be made available to you anyway. So do take it. It's a free mock for you. Register now at least. And yes, Facebook, Instagram, we are everywhere. You can stay connected via Telegram as well, right? I hope today's session helped you. I have brought some tricky questions also and some easy questions. Poems, yes, Harshit, I have already taken a session. I'll request my team to have another session also, okay, to schedule another session as well. But for now, you can find a session on SNAP Poems and Idioms with this title. Just type SNAP Poems and Idioms BYJU'S and you'll get it. Okay, you don't even need to do anything further. Right. Okay. All right. Have a doubt. I'm scoring in mock in VNLR, but not in QA. There's no sectional cutoff. What can be the minimum score? I think GB sir took a beautiful session on this. GB's hack to score 99 percentile in SNAP. There he talked to you about this also, that okay, if let's say a session is your weakness, then how much you need to score in that section, how much minimum you should target in that section. So if you're trying to maximize your score in the other sections. So see, just watch it once and that will help you a lot. In case VARC is your strength, then trust me, you can actually attempt all 15 questions. You can get 12 to 13 correct also, right? In case VARC is your strength in SNAP. For LRDI and Quant, do watch that session. I think that will help you better. Okay, bank, okay. When do we use, yes. This discussion is going on in the group. When do we use bank as a collective noun? See, I understand you are thinking of cash wala bank. Yes, I saw those comments. But when do we use bank as a collective noun? Tell me. What is the usage of bank as a collective noun? So Varun is saying it is not a collective noun. Okay. So see, bank has multiple meanings again. Bank can be used as a verb also. When you bank on someone, you rely on someone. There is a river bank, right? Then if I have to talk about a heap, in that sense also I have seen it being used as a verb. Okay, a heap of, let's say, soil banking on the shore, right? As a collective noun, bank of something, a bank of questions. In that sense, I have seen it as a bank. So a group, a pool of questions. Yes, a bank of questions. In that sense, it will be a collective noun, that I have a good bank of questions with me, a good pool of questions with me, right? In that sense, it will be collective. No other sense actually. वो river bank वाला भी मुझे collective तो नहीं है. That is also not collective, right? So a question bank. All right. Gang, of course, a gang of gangsters. And which other sense do we use it? A gang. A gang of any animals that come to your mind? A gang of thieves is there. A gang of gangsters is there. What else? What else? Any particular animal that comes to your mind? Again, I have always heard it in the context of gangsters. Okay, all right. Banks of the river. All right. Any more snap sessions? Yes, snap sessions are coming. Okay, a lot of comments in the chat box. Yes, snap sessions, we'll have more of them. Don't worry about it. Okay, yes, don't forget to join us for the analysis. Yes, there's a message right in your chat box. For snap slot 2 also we'll be having an analysis, so don't forget to join that. Okay, robbers, kangaroos, yes. Okay, a gang of, group of wolves. Wolves, it's a pack of wolves. It's not a gang of wolves. Okay? All right. Okay. So I'll see you next time, and we'll do more collective nouns next time. Okay, see, there seems to be a lot of discussion on collective nouns. Okay? All right then, this is it for today. Bye-bye. See you. We'll keep on having sessions. Don't worry. Okay? Bye.